Hello, everyone. I'm Ashu Beast, and welcome back to Unfiltered Learning. Have you ever wanted to speak English confidently, but something inside you stopped you? Maybe you know many English words. Maybe you understand English movies, videos, or conversations. Maybe you can read English quite well, but when you try to speak, you suddenly become nervous. Your mind goes blank. You start thinking, am I saying this correctly? Will people laugh at my mistakes? Is my pronunciation good enough? And because of these thoughts, you stay quiet. If this sounds familiar, I want you to know something. You are not the only one. Millions of English learners around the world have the same experience. They want to speak. They want to communicate. They want to express their ideas, but fear stops them. And today, we are going to talk about how to break that fear. Because learning English is not only about grammar, rules, or memorizing difficult words. Learning English is about building confidence. It's about training your brain. It's about creating small habits that slowly change the way you think and speak. Here on Unfiltered Learning, we don't just learn English. We learn how real people communicate. We build confidence. We think in English. We speak naturally. If you're serious about improving your English every day, subscribe to Unfiltered Learning. And leave a comment telling me what topic you'd like to hear next, because your ideas help shape future episodes. Let's get started. Today we are talking about a very important question. How can you practice English every single day, even when life is busy? Many people believe they need hours of study every day. They think they need to move to America or another English-speaking country. They think they need a native English speaker around them all the time. But that's not true. You don't need a perfect environment. You need a smart practice routine. Think about it. A person who practices English for 15 minutes every day can improve more than someone who studies for 5 hours once a month. Why? Because consistency is powerful. Small actions repeated every day create big results. It's like going to the gym. If you exercise once for 5 hours and then stop for a month, you won't become stronger. But if you exercise a little every day, your body changes. English works the same way. Your brain needs regular practice. Your mouth needs regular practice. Your ears need regular practice. And today, I'm going to share simple ways to make English a natural part of your daily life. But before we begin, I want you to think about something. Why are you learning English? Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to make friends from different countries. Maybe you want to understand movies, books, or podcasts. Or maybe you simply want to prove to yourself that you can do something challenging. Whatever your reason is, remember it, because your reason will give you motivation on difficult days. Now, I want you to answer this question. You can answer in your mind or write it in the comments. What is your biggest reason for learning English? Take a few seconds. Think about it. Great. Now let's start with our first powerful technique. The first technique is called shadowing. Maybe you have heard this word before. Maybe this is your first time hearing it. Shadowing is one of the best ways to improve your speaking and listening skills together. The idea is very simple. You listen to someone speaking English, and you repeat what they say. You follow their voice like a shadow follows a person. You copy their pronunciation. You copy their speed. You copy their natural rhythm. You don't stop after every word. You don't translate every sentence. You simply listen and speak. Let me explain with an example. Imagine you are listening to this podcast. I say, I enjoy learning English because it helps me connect with people. Your job is to repeat, I enjoy learning English because it helps me connect with people. Again, I enjoy learning English because it helps me connect with people. Excellent. At first, shadowing may feel strange. You may feel like, why am I repeating someone else? But remember, this is how children learn languages. Children listen first. They copy sounds. They repeat again and again. Nobody tells a child, wait until your grammar is perfect before speaking. No, they practice naturally. That's what we are doing. We are training our brain and our mouth to work together. Now let's practice some simple sentences. Repeat after me. I want to improve my English. Pars. I practice English every day. Pars. I am becoming more confident. Pars. I don't need to be perfect. Pars. I just need to keep going. Pars. Very good. You are doing great. Now let's talk about something important. Many learners make one common mistake. They wait until they feel confident before speaking. But confidence does not come first. Practice comes first. Confidence comes after. Think about driving a car. Nobody becomes a confident driver before touching the steering wheel. Confidence comes from experience. Speaking English is exactly the same. You become confident because you practice, not because you wait. Let me share a small story. I once met a student who was learning English. He told me, "I understand English, but I cannot speak." I asked him, "How often do you speak English?" He became quiet. Then he said, "Almost never." And that was the answer. He wanted speaking ability without speaking practice. But language doesn't work that way. If you want stronger speaking skills, you have to use your voice, even if it's just 1 minute, even if you are alone, even if you make mistakes. Your voice needs training, just like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Now let's learn some natural American expressions. The first expression is, "I'm working on it." Americans use this phrase a lot. It means, "I'm trying to improve." For example, someone asks, "How was your English?" You can say, "I'm working on it," meaning, "I'm practicing and improving." So repeat after me. "I'm working on my English, dauk ba." "I'm working on becoming more confident, ma." Great. The second expression is, little by little. This means slowly over time. For example, "My English is improving little by little." "My pronunciation is getting better little by little." Repeat. Little by little. I am improving. Be excellent. Now pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and say this. I am learning, data, or I am improving. I am not afraid of mistakes. Beautiful. Remember, every fluent English speaker was once a beginner. Every confident speaker once made mistakes. The difference is they continued. They practiced. They didn't give up. And you can do the same. So now, let's continue from where we stopped. You just practiced some simple sentences. You learned that confidence doesn't come before practice. Confidence is created through practice. And the more you use English, the more comfortable your brain becomes. Now, let's talk about another powerful habit that can completely change your English learning journey. Listening. Yes, listening. Many people want to speak English better, but they don't spend enough time listening. Think about a baby learning their first language. Before a baby speaks their first words, they listen for months. They listen to their parents. They listen to sounds. They listen to the rhythm of the language. Then slowly, they start copying. Language begins with listening, and English is the same. Before you can speak naturally, your ears need to become familiar with natural English. Now, I want you to think about your daily routine. Maybe you wake up in the morning. You brush your teeth. You make coffee. You drive to work. You walk outside. You clean your house. You exercise. During these moments, you can practice English. You don't always need a notebook. You don't always need a classroom. You can simply listen. For example, while you're making breakfast, you can listen to a short English podcast. While you're walking, you can listen to an English story. While you're driving, you can listen to English conversations. This is a beautiful thing about modern technology. English is available everywhere. You can carry thousands of English lessons in your pocket. Your phone can become your personal English teacher. Now, let's talk about something important. Many learners say, "Ashu, I listen to English, but I don't understand everything." And I always say, that's completely okay. Art, copware. You don't need to understand every single word. Let me repeat that. You don't need to understand every single word. When you listen, your first goal is not perfection. Your first goal is exposure. Your brain is learning patterns. It's learning sounds. It's learning how words connect. Imagine you move to a new city. On your first day, everything feels unfamiliar. The streets look confusing. The names of places sound strange. But after living there for some time, everything becomes normal. Your brain adapts. English works the same way. The more you hear it, the more familiar it becomes. Now let's practice. I'm going to say some sentences. Listen carefully. Then repeat after me. I listen to English every day. Your turn. I don't understand everything, but I keep learning. Your turn. My ears are becoming stronger. Your turn. I'm getting more comfortable with English. Your turn. Excellent. You are training your listening and speaking together. Now let's move to another important habit. Reading aloud. Reading silently is useful. It helps you learn information. But reading aloud gives you something extra. It trains your speaking muscles, your mouth, your tongue, your pronunciation, your confidence. Think about singers. A singer doesn't become better by only reading lyrics. They practice singing. Speaking is similar. You need to use your voice. Here's a simple exercise. Choose a short English paragraph, maybe from a story, maybe from a news article, maybe from a learning video. Read it aloud, slowly, clearly. Don't rush. Focus on the sounds. For example, today is a beautiful day. I feel happy and thankful for this new opportunity. Now repeat. Today is a beautiful day. Pause. I feel happy and thankful for this new opportunity. Pause. Very good. Now, here's a small challenge. Read the same sentence 3 times. The first time, focus on accuracy. The second time, focus on speed. The third time, focus on emotion. Because natural English is not just about words. It's about feeling. When Americans speak, they use emotion. Their voice goes up and down. They don't speak like a robot, and you shouldn't either. Let's imagine a real situation. You walk into a coffee shop in the morning. The smell of fresh coffee is everywhere. People are talking. Someone is laughing. You walk to the counter. The person asks, "Hi, what can I get for you today?" You smile and say, "Hi, I'd like a coffee, please." Simple, natural, confident. Maybe your pronunciation isn't perfect. That's okay. You communicated. That's the goal. Now let's learn some useful expressions from this situation. Expression number 1. I'd like. This is a polite way to ask for something. Examples. I'd like a coffee, please. I'd like some water. I'd like to learn English. Repeat. I'd like to improve my speaking skills. Great. Expression number 2. Could you help me? This is useful everywhere. At a store, at an airport, at work, at school. Repeat. Could you help me, please? Excellent. Now let's talk about a common fear, the fear of making mistakes. This is one of the biggest reasons people don't speak. They think, what if I say something wrong? What if someone corrects me? What if people laugh? But let me ask you something. Have you ever heard a child learning to walk? A child falls many times, but nobody says, "Wow, you fell. You should stop trying." No, everyone encourages the child. Because falling is part of learning. Language learning is the same. Mistakes are not proof that you are failing. Mistakes are proof that you are practicing. Every mistake teaches your brain something new. So instead of saying, "I made a mistake," try saying, "I learned something." That small change in thinking can make a big difference. Now I want you to practice a confident sentence. Repeat after me. I am allowed to make mistakes. I learn from every mistake. Every day my English becomes better. My voice matters. Beautiful. Now let's talk about another simple technique. Thinking in English. This habit can make you faster when speaking. Many learners translate everything. They think, first language, translation, English. This takes time. Instead, start creating direct connections. Start small. When you see your phone, think, my phone is charging. When you open the door, think, I'm opening the door. When you drink water, think, I'm drinking water. These are tiny sentences, but they are building a new habit. Your brain is creating an English pathway, and the more you use that pathway, the stronger it becomes. Let's practice together. Look around you. Complete these sentences. This is my mark. I am sitting on nigh. I can see drought. I feel dark today. Pause the episode. Answer these questions in English. Take your time. You're doing great. Now, I want to share one more story. A woman once told me that she was afraid to speak English at her workplace. She understood her coworkers. She knew what she wanted to say. But she always stayed quiet during meetings. One day, she decided to make a small change. She promised herself, I will speak at least one sentence in every meeting. Not 10 sentences, not a long speech. Just one sentence. The first week was difficult. Her voice was nervous. But she did it. After 1 month, she was speaking more. After 6 months, her co-workers noticed her confidence. The interesting thing? Her English did not improve because she waited. It improved because she used it. One sentence became many sentences. One small action became a new habit. And that is the power of consistency. Before we continue, I want you to think about this question. What is one small English habit you can start today? Maybe listening for 10 minutes. Maybe reading aloud. Maybe speaking one sentence to yourself. Choose one. Don't choose 10 things. Start small. Make it easy. Because the best habit is the habit you can continue. Remember, small steps every day create big changes. And you're already moving forward. We talked about listening. We talked about reading aloud. We talked about thinking in English. And we learned something very important. You don't need a perfect environment to improve your English. You need a consistent practice habit. You need small moments where you allow yourself to use English. Because English is not something you only study. English is something you practice. It's something you experience. It's something you slowly make a part of your daily life. Now let's talk about another powerful habit. A habit that many successful language learners use. And that habit is writing in English. Now, before you say, "But Ashu, I want to speak English. Why should I write?" That's a great question. Writing and speaking are connected. When you write, you practice creating sentences. You organize your thoughts. You learn how to express your ideas. And later, those same sentence patterns become easier to speak. Think about it. When you write something many times, your brain remembers it. The same thing happens with English. Writing helps your brain create a connection between your thoughts and English words. Now don't imagine writing a long essay. You don't need to write 5 pages. You don't need difficult vocabulary. Start with something very simple. A daily English journal. Just 3 to 5 sentences. That's it. For example, today was a busy day. I went to work in the morning. I felt tired, but I completed my tasks. In the evening, I watched an English video. Simple, natural, real. This is the kind of English you actually use in life. Now let's practice together. Imagine you are writing about your day. Repeat after me. Today was a good day. I learned something new. I am proud of myself. I will continue improving. Very nice. Now pause for a moment. Think about your day today. Can you describe it in 3 English sentences? Don't worry about mistakes. Just try. This is your personal English practice. Now, let me tell you something interesting. Many people wait for motivation before they practice. They say, "I will practice when I feel inspired." But motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel excited. Some days you feel tired. Some days you don't feel like doing anything. That's normal. Successful learners don't depend only on motivation. They depend on habits. A habit means you practice even when your feelings change, like brushing your teeth. You don't wake up every morning and think, "Should I brush my teeth today?" You simply do it. English practice can become like that, a natural part of your day. Now let's talk about another amazing technique, something I personally recommend. Recording your own voice. Yes, your own voice. Many learners don't like hearing themselves speak English. They think, "My voice sounds strange. My pronunciation is bad. I don't sound like a native speaker." But here's the truth. Your voice is not the problem. Your voice is your tool. Recording yourself helps you notice improvement. Let me explain. Imagine you record yourself today saying, "Hello, my name is Ashu. I'm learning English, and I'm practicing every day." Maybe you feel uncomfortable. Maybe you notice some mistakes. That's okay. Now record yourself again after 30 days. You may hear a difference. Your pronunciation may be clearer. Your confidence may be stronger. Your pauses may become shorter. You will see your progress. And seeing progress gives you motivation. Now let's do a 1-minute speaking exercise. Imagine you are recording a voice message for a friend. Start with, "Hi, today I want to talk about my day." Continue. "Today I woke up early. I had breakfast. I worked on my goals. In the evening I relaxed. I'm happy because I practiced English today." Great. You don't need anyone else. You can practice with yourself. Your phone can become your speaking partner. Now let's move into a real-life situation. Imagine you are meeting someone new, maybe at work, maybe at a social event, maybe during travel. Someone asks, "Where are you from?" This is a simple question, but many learners become nervous. Let's practice a natural answer. "Hi, I'm from India. I'm currently learning English because I want to communicate with more people. I enjoy learning about different cultures." Simple, friendly, confident. Now repeat. "I enjoy meeting new people. I like learning new things. I'm improving my English every day." Excellent. Now let's talk about another important part of communication, asking questions. Many learners focus only on answering, but good conversations need questions. Questions keep conversations alive. For example, how was your day? What do you do? What do you like to do in your free time? Where did you travel recently? These simple questions can start amazing conversations. Let's practice. Repeat after me. How was your day? What do you like to do? Can you tell me more? That's interesting. I agree with you. Great. These are simple expressions, but they make you sound more natural. Now, let's imagine another situation. You are at an airport. You need help finding your gate. You walk to the information desk. You say, "Excuse me, could you help me find my gate?" The person answers. You say, "Thank you, I appreciate your help." Notice something? You don't need complicated English. You need useful English. English that helps you communicate. That's the English you should learn first. Now let's learn a few everyday expressions. Sounds good? This means you agree with an idea. Example, let's meet at 6 p.m. Sounds good? Repeat. Sounds good? Good. Another expression. That makes sense. This means you understand someone's idea. Example, practice every day, even for a short time. That makes sense. Repeat. That makes sense. Excellent. Now, I want to talk about something emotional. Your English journey is personal. Don't compare your beginning with someone else's middle. Maybe someone around you speaks English very fluently. Maybe they have been practicing for years. That's their journey. Your journey is different. The only person you need to compete with is yourself. Ask yourself, am I better than yesterday? Did I practice today? Did I try? If the answer is yes, you are moving forward. Now imagine a rainy evening. You are sitting near a window. You have a warm drink in your hand. You open your phone. Instead of scrolling without purpose, you spend 10 minutes listening to English, 10 minutes reading, 10 minutes speaking. That small decision may seem unimportant, but those moments build your future. Your future English confidence is created by today's small actions. Now let's practice some powerful sentences together. Repeat after me. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to practice. I am becoming more confident. Every mistake helps me learn. My English journey is my own journey. Wonderful. Take a deep breath. You are doing something valuable. You are investing in yourself. Remember, language learning is not only about words. It's about connection. It's about sharing your ideas. It's about making friendships. It's about opening new doors. And every time you speak English, even for a few seconds, you are building that ability. Now, before we continue to the next part, I want you to think about one challenge. What is the biggest thing stopping you from speaking English? Is it fear? Is it lack of practice? Is it confidence? Write your answer in the comments. Because when you identify the problem, you can start solving it. And remember, you are not trying to become a different person. You are simply becoming a more confident version of yourself. Keep practicing. Keep speaking. Keep growing. We talked about writing. We talked about recording your voice. We talked about using English in real-life situations. And most importantly, we talked about one powerful idea. Small practice creates big progress. Now, let's talk about something that can make your English journey more enjoyable. Because learning English should not feel like punishment. It should not feel like a boring homework assignment. It should feel like a part of your life. Something natural. Something you enjoy. And one of the best ways to do that is by creating an English environment around you. Now you might be thinking, but Ashu, I don't live in America. I don't have English-speaking friends. My family doesn't speak English. That's okay. You can still create an English environment. Your environment is not only the people around you. Your environment is also what you listen to, what you watch, what you read, and what you think about every day. Let's imagine your normal day. You wake up, you check your phone, you listen to music, you search for information. All of these moments are opportunities. You can choose to add English. For example, change your phone language to English. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. Maybe you will think, where is this setting? What does this word mean? But after some time, these words become normal. Words like settings, download, update, password, notification, privacy. These are not just vocabulary words anymore. They become part of your daily life. That's how natural learning happens. Now, let's practice some daily words. Repeat after me. Open the settings. Check my notifications. Download the app. Update my information. Great job. See? You are learning English that you can actually use. Now let's talk about another important habit. Watching English content. Many learners watch English movies or videos and feel frustrated. They say, I don't understand everything. I miss many words. I feel lost. But remember something. Learning is not about understanding everything immediately. When you watch English content, don't focus only on words. Focus on expressions. Focus on how people speak. Focus on emotions. For example, imagine you are watching a family dinner scene. Someone says, how's everything going? Maybe you already know the word how. You already know everything. You already know going. But together, this sentence has a meaning. It means, how is your life? How are things? This is how native speakers communicate. They use common phrases, not only individual words. Let's practice some natural expressions. Repeat after me. How's everything going? Your turn. Pretty good. How about you? Your turn. I'm doing well. Your turn. Nice to meet you. Excellent. These simple expressions can help you in hundreds of conversations. Now, let's talk about making friends in English. Because language is about people. It's about connection. Sometimes learners think, I will speak English when my English is perfect. But imagine meeting someone new. Would you rather have a small conversation with mistakes or no conversation at all? Communication is more important than perfection. Let's imagine you are at a weekend event. Someone asks, what do you do? You can answer, I'm learning new skills. I'm working on my English. I enjoy improving myself. Then ask, what about you? That's a conversation. Simple, human, real. Now let's practice. I'll say a question. You answer. What do you do? Pause. What are your hobbies? Pause. Why are you learning English? Pause. Great. Even if you answered alone, you practiced. That matters. Now, let's discuss something many learners forget. Celebrating progress. Sometimes we only look at what we cannot do. We think, I don't speak fluently. I don't know enough words. My accent is different. But what about what you can do? Maybe you can understand more than before. Maybe you can introduce yourself. Maybe you can order food in English. Maybe you can understand this podcast. Those are achievements. Don't ignore your progress. Imagine climbing a mountain. If you only look at the top, you may feel tired. But if you turn around and look behind you, you can see how far you've already climbed. Your English journey is the same. Look back sometimes. Be proud. Now let's practice some confident sentences. Repeat after me. I am proud of my progress. I am learning every day. I can communicate in English. My mistakes help me improve. I believe in myself. Excellent. Now, I want to give you a simple daily English routine. You can adjust it according to your schedule. Morning. Spend 5 minutes thinking in English. Describe your morning. Say simple sentences. During the day, listen to English while doing normal activities. At night, write 3 sentences about your day. Record 1 minute of your voice. That's it. You don't need a complicated plan. You need consistency. Now let's talk about one final important thing. Your relationship with mistakes. Many people treat mistakes like enemies, but mistakes are actually teachers. When you make a mistake, your brain notices something. It says, okay, this sentence needs improvement. This pronunciation needs practice. This word is new. Every mistake gives you information. So don't hide from mistakes. Use them. Learn from them. Grow from them. Let's practice one final shadowing exercise together. Listen carefully, then repeat. I am learning English step by step. Pause. I don't need to rush my progress. Pause. Every day I become more confident. Pause. My voice becomes stronger every time I speak. Pause. I believe I can improve. Pause. Amazing. You did it. You practiced speaking. You trained your listening. You built confidence. And remember, fluency is not created in one day. It's created through thousands of small moments. A sentence today, a conversation tomorrow, a little practice every day. One day you will look back and realize, wow, my English has changed. And that moment will come because you decided to start, because you decided to continue, because you believed you could improve. So keep listening, keep speaking, keep learning. Before we end today's episode, I want to ask you something. What is one English goal you want to achieve? Maybe you want to speak confidently at work. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to make international friends. Huh. Maybe you want to understand movies without subtitles. Tell me in the comments. I would love to know your goal. And if this episode helped you, don't forget to subscribe to Unfiltered Learning. Share this episode with someone who is also learning English, because sometimes one small piece of encouragement can change someone's journey. Thank you for spending your time with me. I'm Ashu Beast. This is Unfiltered Learning. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep believing in yourself. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.